Hey, everybody. Thanks for downloading this episode of the Black and Gold podcast. It is another post-game edition, and it's brought to you by Appalachian Commercial Real Estate. And Appalachian Commercial Real Estate provides professional commercial real estate services in the Boone area. They provide sales, leasing, consulting, and appraisal services to owners and users of commercial real estate. For more information, you can go up their website, and it's a good-looking website, even though it has James's picture on it, AppalachianCRE.com. And Charles, give him the digits to reach Appalachian State Commercial Real Estate President and owner James Milner.
828-719-0408.
Very good. Okay, so all right, another game, another loss. Unfortunately, we now sit 4-4 for the season, 1-3 in Sunbelt play. But like we do each and every week, Charles, we don't take weeks off with this. We're going to produce an episode where we talk about what's going on with the team, we think about it and all that good stuff. And we're not just making it for us. We're making it for the outsiders, too. Outsiders are welcome to listen to our analysis.
Anyone can listen.
And chime in if they want to.
Anyone can listen, insiders or outsiders. Man, it's a tough game yesterday.
Yeah.
I think Adam Witten maybe said this at some point during the broadcast, and I think it perfectly sums it up as a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was that over and over and over. Not my words. That's all Adam's wording there. Props to him, because, I don't know how else to explain all the things that happened. It certainly stinks to lose Isaiah Cummings. I think that's the first thing, is that we had an injury to a player who can make plays, and now we have another person who is around the offensive line at the line of scrimmage, and we got an issue, so we got to, fill another gap somewhere.
Yeah.
Already got the line juggled like crazy, and now you're going to lose a top offensive threat and a tight end. Just bad. And then I guess the things that have continued to plague us all year long continued yesterday. With drop passes and red zone interceptions and bad penalties at bad times. Some, don't get me wrong, some weren't great.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. There's 3 of them probably that were just pitiful.
Yeah.
Just pitiful calls. But it's who we are. It's who we've been all year.
Yeah. Yeah, really, it's funny. Like, before we came down here, I needed to fill some time while I was eating breakfast and just getting ready to come down and record. We are recording this early on a Sunday morning, and I just turned on the game just to have something on in the background, like I said. And I knew I wasn't going to watch enough to like really recap all of this, but the DJ Burks tipped interception happened right when I was coming down here, when they called the roughing the passer penalty.
You mean throwing Kleenex at somebody?
Yeah.
That's what that play was. Throwing a box of Kleenex.
Yeah, that's what that was. And
roll toilet paper. Call it what you want.
Yeah. We're talking about streamers now? No, we didn't play JMU. We're playing ODU.
I like it.
But little things like that, I think, when stuff like that happens on the road, you already need a little bit of an edge. You're playing on the road. You're not playing well. Getting a big hit like that on a quarterback and getting a turnover after you just turn the ball over. Those opportunities for momentum really hurt, now you have a whole game to overcome that. I'm not saying that's why we lost at all. That's not what I'm saying. But little ticky-tack stuff like that, when you make a great play, and I don't know, I guess Farmer came up a little high. I don't know, man. At the end of the day, the quarterback's out of his natural comfort zone. He's out there trying to make a play, running around. He's a moving target. You got to do, you got to do something. But yeah, it was more of the same. I will say, I do think, obviously we stopped the run better than last. It would be hard to not do better than last week on stopping the run. I do think the defense played better for sure than last week. We still, though, had trouble executing on tackles. I think that we really got a kind of a misleading gauge early on in the year on the kind of personnel we had on defense playing Charlotte and Lindenwood. I mean, I thought we were set up to crack heads, but I think it's going to come down to our defense. They have to execute on tackles and being where they're supposed to be. And I thought they were where they were supposed to be better this week than last week for sure. And it was also very interesting to see us basically play like what looked like a 3-3-5 yesterday, like a 3 down front. That was interesting. Which I guess DJ Smith saw something, or that staff saw something that ODU did that made them want to play that way. But yeah, just getting beat. Now, road games are tough. I mean, we lost a road game against a team that had been playing really well this year. You know, we were not favored to win that game, and we still. I mean, I don't want to sound like sour grapes, Charles, but we should have won that game. I mean, we should have won that game. Throwing an interception in the end zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a winnable game.
Yeah.
If you take away the silly stuff that we've been doing all year long, like, or just cut that stuff in half.
Yeah.
You know, now, I get more frustrated about things that we can control.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I think we can control how well we tackle. I think we can control effort, like not sliding short of a first down line. Like, I think that's a big deal. But what we can't control is, we cannot control the officials. That's something you have to play through. So it feels like we have to play perfect to even give ourselves a chance. And we're not even come close to anything like that, especially on defense. Like, there were several times yesterday where we had like 3 or 4 missed tackles on the same play, but still got a tackle for loss out of that. Now that's effort, right?
Yeah.
So someone didn't finish it, another guy missed or whatever, and then someone finally was there and cleaned it up, and we still got the negative loss. But it was just an indicator of things that were like have been shining through more recently. Yeah. It's that that first person is not making that tackle, and that is exactly what you have to do against a team like Old Dominion and certainly Coastal, like the way they play. Like, if you miss like that, they want to play one-on-one assignment football. Like, it's where you're not really playing an area of the field. They want to make one of your guys defend one of their guys mano a mano, and so if you miss, like it's going to be an explosive play. Like, it's going to be an 8-yard run, or it's going to be a 12-yard pass catch or something like that.
Yeah.
More of those you have, it's frustrating. I mean, yes, did the defense play better? Did they give ourselves a chance? Absolutely. They only gave up 24 points. Kind of fell asleep on that next play after the interception that was wiped away.
Yeah.
And that was us having to chase them for the rest of the game. Like, that was basically the game in a nutshell, is us missing an assignment and having to chase someone for the rest of the game, in which we didn't catch up.
Yeah, we chased that. We chased that wide out to the end zone, and then figuratively chased the rest. I mean, it didn't stop after that. It didn't stop in that end zone. That's a good point. I didn't think about that. Drops are another huge deal. What's going on? But at the end of the day, I saw some exchanges on the interwebs about people saying, "Well, this is just how it is now," and I saw people. They're trying to, legislate, the previous regime saying this is why we're bad. The current regime saying this is what you this is what you wished for. You got what you wanted. This is what you get. This is your bed. Lay in it. But at the end of the day, I mean, to look objectively to what we're dealing with in the struggles. I thought about this a lot yesterday. It's just a continuation. None of these thoughts are new. Right. I didn't come up with these. I mean, people are thinking the same thing, but just trying to put them together. Last year we were 5-6, not very good. Last year, soft on defense, just didn't have juice in too many spots of that schedule. Not a great team, but even so, we lost the best players from that team. And so you have a 5-6 team where Josh O'Donnell went to Houston, Santana Hopper and Jackson Hollifield went to Tulane. Markel Samuel left and went to Oklahoma State. Joey went to Tennessee. Nick Taylor, that true freshman cornerback who had a really good season last year, he went to West Virginia. Mekhi Jackson went to Indiana. Nate Johnson went to Missouri. Now, whether or not all those people are experiencing success where they've gone is not relevant. But the guys that were making plays for us, good players last year, what you're asking the new staff to do, and I'm not trying to pit previous over current. I'm really not. I'm just kind of saying what it is. But what you have right now, what you're experiencing in this regime change, and this is why regime changes are tough, because you are literally blowing things up and rolling the dice, and you don't know how the dice is going to land. But you have to replace all of that to be, and you want them to be at least as good. But what you've essentially done is you're trying to say, okay, well, go replace the guy that is a starting quarterback in the SEC. Now go replace him. Well, that's I mean, quarterback is the hardest. It is the hardest position to find in the portal to be great without having to pay tons and tons of money. Defensive linemen are really, really hard to replace. Jackson Holyfield and Markel Samuel will almost certainly be starting on this offensive line, but you have to replace them. And so already we were in a bad spot. Last year didn't play well, didn't have a great season. But then we have a laundry list of playmakers you got to replace, and then Kanye gets hurt. So go replace him. All right, great. And here's your budget, and you have, X amount of time to recruit. Now, I think we're clearly seeing the impact of not just turnover, because we don't know if those kids would have left whether we had the same regime or not. History tells us they would leave anyway. That's history. That's what history tells us, is that they would see opportunities presented to them, whether ethically or unethically, and they would leave. And what we have now on top of that is a ton of injuries on offensive line. I think at this point we start off with our right tackle. I can't remember his name, but start off with right tackle. He's been hurt this whole time. Number 67, Taylor, or can't remember his name. I'm sorry. He got carted off last week, so we're down there. Jaden Ramsey, he's been hurt all year. So we're dropping like flies, struggling up front. We're dropping passes. Like, how many first downs were dropped yesterday? Just hit him in the hands. And I understand, well, some of those passes aren't. I don't know, man. It hits you in the hands.
Yeah, a lot of people will say if it's in the hands, it could be caught. Unless it's like behind you.
Yeah,
that ball is in front of you. If your eyes are on it, if you don't have to make a awkward body movement to make the catch, you should catch it.
I mean, I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that's your job as a either a tight end or a slot receiver or someone big on the outside that's trying to make these big catches. And then I think that and you already said it, Charles, I'll just echo what you already said, but man, Isaiah Cummings is a matchup problem for a lot of teams. And man, him getting hurt. First of all, I hope he's okay. Like, that really sucks. We had him on the show. That seemed like an awesome kid.
I agree, 100%.
Man, him getting hurt though. I mean, he was becoming our, early in the year, I thought, all right, DeBinions are like, that's our offensive guy. Like, that's the guy. And, he's gotten dinged up a little bit. Our offensive line, and when the offensive line isn't, healthy or performing or whatever, then that kind of marginalizes what the running back's able to do. Even if you're a really good player, it was really becoming Isaiah Cummings like matchup problem. He was fast. He could do things that not the average tight end, especially in our league, could do. Run downfield for a deep catch or catch in the flat, make somebody miss. That was a huge part of the game, because I feel like Loggins was really figuring out how to use him, and he kind of became a security blanket, actually, to the point where it did feel a little bit like J.J. Cole was, like, the defense even knew, like, J.J. Cole's going to end up looking for number 4. Like staring him down, and he was, and that's why that first interception happened. But losing Cummins yesterday was a huge deal, I think.
I think, and that was massive. He was really becoming a focal point of the offense, mainly because he wasn't dropping passes.
Yeah, he was reliable.
But I'll tell you what was really, really tough yesterday is the that game really felt like Southern Miss a lot, and those with those 3 red zone interceptions we had against Southern Miss, 2 were fluky, right? Those 2 yesterday were not fluky at all. They were thrown into tight coverage areas with receivers who were not even open and were just bad reads, and they're just bad decision making. I thought it was very interesting. We come out at half, throw the ball 3 times, and we punt. Like, what's the point of having that? Like that hurt. And then, you could see that at some point that Swan was probably going to play in this game.
Yeah.
And I thought Cole should have been yanked as soon as he fell short on that slide or ducked.
Man.
I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I tweeted it yesterday. I probably shouldn't have, and I probably shouldn't even be talking about it now. But I think he should have been yanked at that moment and not returned to the field. I just have a hard time. If you're 6'7", I'm a big guy. I get it. Like, you probably have physical domination over. I don't care about weight. Like, you have the ability to throw your body around, throw it around. And I just that hurt. That hurt seeing that. So
Yeah.
But then we got into a position. When AJ Swan comes in, he's just going to end up throwing the ball anyway. We're down. But I mean, we threw the ball 54 times yesterday. It's not a recipe. I think it's lopsided. A 3-to-1 pass run ratio.
Yeah, it's not good.
And whether we had and in 5 of those 18 runs were JJ Cole running. So and designed. Those are not sack yards. Those are not like that. It's like design.
Yeah.
If I had to put JJ Cole and Chase Bryce on the line and say who wins a 20-yard race, I don't know who I would pick. Like, I don't know who I'd put my money on right now, and that's not a good thing to say. So I mean, just bad events, weird stuff happened. Can't have weird stuff happen and then play poorly, because that's what you're going to end up doing. Is you're going to end up losing a game. That's
yeah. It's interesting to say that, because I think everybody watching the game saw hit the like that first down deal where he was short, and kind of cringed a little bit. And
yeah,
my son yesterday like broke his arm. It's a buckle fracture playing football. So like, I know football's tough and it's hard, it's violent, it's painful, but the game requires, certain attitudes to approach the game to be successful. And when I saw that, I want to be very super clear. I don't want any ambiguity. Like, I wasn't mad at him or whatever, but it made me think that, like, if he's feeling gun shy about that a little bit, wouldn't that impact other areas of the game? Wouldn't that impact other areas of him commanding or leading the game? And that just kind of entered my mind, whether that's fair or not. And I was happy to see AJ come in there, because I feel like if you had to come in there to kind of shake and bake and make a play or whatever and stand in there with a shaky offensive line, I feel like AJ is probably better suited for that. If you got a healthier offensive line and you need the game management, maybe JJ's your guy. But AJ came in there and did the things that we talked at the beginning of the year. Like, when he looks good, he looks good.
Mm-hmm.
First throw down the sideline to was it Dozier, that first pass down the sideline? I think it was. Man, that looks sweet. It's like, wow, okay. And if that guy can limit his turnovers, maybe that's the guy. I don't know. Well, football's a fluid thing. There's film on everybody now. It's just a different thing.
And what situation does this put us in? We've got, next Thursday night, not this Thursday, next Thursday night, to figure out, was that a bad day for Cole? Or is he still the starter?
Yeah.
Or did, in some glimpse of hope, did AJ Swan win a job back in like garbage time? Which it really wasn't garbage time, but it felt like it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But what message does this also send? That you can't make a mistake or two and continue playing.
Yeah.
Because now we're going back to something that but going back to the same deal that we had, the same questions we had a month ago is, well, 3 interceptions in the red zone is bad. For whether they were fluky or not, 2 interceptions in the red zone these were not fluky. These were like dead heater 50-50 balls that, like, we didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
So what's the deal? Who starts? I mean, is that the question of the week, or is it something else? You know, do you want someone who slides sort of a first down playing against Georgia Southern?
Yeah. I mean, it's not just that, I mean, I hear loud and clear what you're saying. It's not just the sliding short. It was already not playing great. And the receivers dropping the passes, that wasn't helping them either. That didn't make things look good. But throwing the interceptions, throwing the ball, I mean, throwing into coverage, you pair that with, and then you just came up short a little bit. You kind of braced yourself a little too early. That all paints the picture, I think, of yesterday, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the insiders decide is important to go against Georgia Southern. It's just for us to speculate, I guess.
Right.
And again, I think one of the things I liked, and you've said it too. One of the things you like about AJ Swan, what limited time we've seen of him, is he does sit in there and take a hit. And he did it was the first possession. He did the same thing. Like the first throw he had, he got drilled.
Right.
I was like, there you go. AJ Swan got the pass off and he got absolutely, smashed. But I think this is a really great opportunity for us to not get dinged up or whatever for the next week. I'm happy for this bye week. Because I think we need it. I think we need it bad. Anytime you get a guy carted off, though, I'm just thinking about Isaiah. Man, that sucks so bad.
It also it was like a non-contact kind of injury. Like he runs, he's kind of like slowing down and like because we ran into our blockers like a couple times yesterday. Like, oh my goodness, like the spacing is just not there.
Yeah,
and it wasn't like he got hit. It's like, it's a football thing. It's tough. It's even tougher because it just feels like it was like it's just knee went. And whatever he was trying to do or not do, get around whoever, it's just hurt.
Yeah, I just think I've seen some people talk about like play calling and whatever. Like, I think people are trying to find the right nail to hammer. Like, why are we this way? Why are we? Is it this? Is it that? And I think it's a formula that comes with, we talk about it with the Sun Belt. You siphon off the good players off the top of the conference and off your roster. They go somewhere else. You try again, and with regime change, that becomes even harder, and injuries, and I don't know. I thought yesterday we were watching a team that maybe doesn't have the level of players that we're used to historically as App fans. And so we have to rely on people doing their jobs, catching passes, being in their spot, making tackles, because there's not a handful of players out there like coming to save us. Right. I mean, we all have to do our jobs.
We got what we got this year.
We got what we got. And yeah. So I think we're in a tough spot personnel wise. I say tough spot. I think it just is what it is. Like, we're watching what we have, and it's not one person's fault. It's just Coach Loggins and the staff they have to keep recruiting. They have to keep bringing guys in and building it, because we know we need defensive linemen. We know we need offensive linemen. We need quarterback play. We need to catch the ball. It just drop passes, I think, are a little underrated. I think that like we were 4 of 16 yesterday for third down conversions. I just wonder how many of those were just dropped. Anyway, I don't know. I'm rambling now, but it's.
Well, I think that's just kind of like where you get to, at this point when you feel like you've seen the same thing over and over, and it doesn't feel like there's any hope for anything to just fix itself. It's
not going to fix itself.
A line in the sand where, like, you know what, we're going to do this one thing at practice this week, and it'll fix it all, and all of a sudden we'll not have any more problems. When if there was one thing we were doing bad, that would be one. That would be something. But there's several. several things that have been issues all year long. And we got 4 games to play to see if we play another one after that. And depending on how that unwinds, however we get the 6 wins, it may even determine how excited we are even playing a 13th game, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think there's probably a lot of people's heads that are thinking, and it's just terrible to say, but can we just get this over with?
Yeah. Got a feeling of that last year a little bit. Like, this has just been a hard, crappy year. Man, I hate that. I mean, I personally, and I know
hate
you
it.
do too.
Yeah. No, I want nothing more. I mean, like, there's a reason we do this, because we enjoy it and because it's fun winning, and that's what we're used to. No one loves losing, but when you keep losing the same way every week, when you lose the same way every week.
Yeah.
It becomes a little numbing, right?
Yeah.
Like there's at some point you're not as ticked off as you used to be about it.
That's true for me.
Hurts too.
Yeah. I mean, that's true for me, but I think it's not because I don't care. It's because, like, I've just kind of landed on, I understand the components at play. Like, these are the variables that have been offered to us in this new industry, in this new landscape, and a coaching change. I mean, that comes with its own challenges besides the portal. So you just add all this stuff, and you hope that you can build some sort of stability. And it's impossible. Like, for those of you that are, the folks that are saying, hey, you got what you want, this is what we have now, the grass isn't always greener. There's always going to be, like, in any shift, just about any shift, there's just going to be, you're not going to have stability and norms immediately. I mean, things have to settle, and that's just a reality, whether you like it or not. And we're doing that. And that's the stage we're going through. That's not an opinion. That's just what happens. And when in the age of the portal, it just gets uglier and colder and more corporate, and it's less fun. But that is just a reality. The saddest stat that I've seen this week, so I'm looking at our schedule now. We've won 2 in a row, lost 2 in a row, won 2 in a row, lost 2 in a row. But the stat that is most disturbing to me is we still have not beat one team that has an FBS win. Not one.
That's painful.
That is here at the end of October. That is a crazy indictment of the strength of our schedule. That not one of the wins that we've had, not one of those teams has beaten an FBS team. And Oregon State finally beat Lafayette, which is an FCS team, last week. Georgia State still can't win. They're terrible. Our 4 wins have truly been awful. Teams.
Bad teams.
Probably the worst. Context is king, right? Probably the worst selection of wins, quality wins that I've ever seen at an app team.
The weakest 4-4 that you could possibly be.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't think anybody that we play in the last 4 games is as weak as those teams.
No, they're not. And that's what I'm kind of teeing that up to say, brace yourselves, because I think basically all these teams we're getting ready to play are better than every single one of the teams we've beaten. Every single one.
Yes. And so it's a long way of saying, enjoy the next 4 games and the ride of chasing the 6, but don't be surprised if we don't win another game for the rest of the season.
Don't be surprised. Yeah, I certainly don't want to expect that, but don't be surprised.
We don't either.
Yeah,
don't be surprised.
Don't be surprised.
Yeah, it's not fun. This is not fun. Like,
no, it's not.
Yeah, we're not trying to just throw stuff out there so we look right one day. No, just like this is just the reality.
Yeah, absolutely not.
This is what we're looking at. There's a higher likelihood we go 4-8 than we go 8-4, in my opinion.
Oh, not even yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. Right. I mean, yeah. And my approach has been this year, just take literally one game at a time and just take it. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm not going to project out. We're going to play Georgia Southern next week on the 6th, and that's what I want to. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to concentrate on as a fan. I don't want to try to go ahead and legislate the rest of the season, say, well, James Madison looks really good, and when we go up there, blah blah blah. I don't want to do any of that. I want to just take it one game at a time. But it's been a rough season, and you know what? Since we've had players on during the year, I think we've had 3 or 4 players from this team on the show this year, and once you get to know these guys, you pull for them. Like, I want these guys to win. Like, I want them to do well. I like that Elijah McCantos has had a really good year. We had him on, and he was a really interesting dude. And man, I'm pulling for him. And same thing with Zay, our good friend Zay. We can call him Zay now. He looks great, and then he got hurt, and that hurt extra. Like, dadgummit, man, that's a good dude. And even R-Dub, and we call him R-Dub because we're good friends with him now. But R-Dub, man, when he starts getting dinged up, it's like that hurts a little extra because, like, man, you got to know him a little bit here, about his why, and he loves his son, and you're like, God, I don't want him to be dinged up. So, we're in a crappy situation just because you want him to do well, and like but you got to call a spade a spade. We're not, it feels a lot like last year when like you want to say a lot of great things. You're like, well, we'll see, and
right.
But anyway, so Charles,
we got so Georgia Southern's 3 wins on the year.
Yeah.
Or Georgia State, Jacksonville State, and Maine. So I guess it could be worse.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It could be. Anyway, okay. Is there anything else to say, or are we going to wrap this up?
I think we should probably stop saying stuff before we get ourselves in trouble.
All right. Well, that's it for everybody. Thanks for downloading this episode of the Black and Gold podcast. And we don't have a football game this weekend, so there's not necessarily going to be a preview. But basketball is coming up, so probably going to do a preview for the basketball programs, which we're looking forward to. But until that time, go Apps.